Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars. We are back. The holidays are still in full bloom, but we are here at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55, Cleveland, Missouri, our dateline. Welcome to another edition of Monday Night Madness on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. After a fun Chili Bowl race we had last week that came down to the final laps, we are here at the shortest track, one of the shortest tracks on the schedule for round number 2 of the 10-race winter season. Well, happy holidays. Hope you had a good Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, and Happy New Year all. Marty Sakala with you. So glad you could join us in the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm joined alongside Brandon Dittmer once again here tonight. Spider Monkey, we're back to points racing here, round number 2 of the season. That's I-55, a tight racetrack, not a lot of room. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the tracks that brings 2-lane racing. I was talking to Isaac a little bit earlier, and he said he was running top, and Anthony Morano was absolutely killing him on that bottom side. But if you're able to get up, roll on this outside, especially when this cushion gets built up, there's going to be almost no stopping you if you can hit it perfect.
Well, let's talk about our race from 2 weeks ago, which was the season opener at Lernerville Speedway. And that man you just brought up moments ago, Isaac Salas, was the one that took the checkered flag at Lernerville Speedway. He could be a threat out to watch out for tonight. However, though, has taken a lot of laps. Chess is actually taking 20 laps at the moment, but joined in later, so he doesn't have a quick time compared to other drivers. Good car count here to get the night started. 27 drivers with us here, Brandon, so we will have a B main.
Absolutely love to see it. Love when we're able to send some people home, and we can put on a great show for everybody.
So with that being said, we are just about ready to go here for qualifying for our first session of the night with the 350 Open 358 Modifieds. Open 358s brought to you by Top Notch Trucking. Proud partner of Isaac Salas and the Coast to Coast Racing League. First driver we'll watch on the track, the jokester, Michael Vitale in the 2:13. We'll pull up lap times here on the bottom of your screen and on the left. Green means they're on their best lap. Purple means they're working on a pole lap. Vitale will be the first one to set the bar here in qualifying. Here he comes off of turn number 4. Where does he go on the charts? A 13.126 on lap 1. Now's the times clock in. Scott Rayome second quickest. And a 13.173. Zach Chapman looking pretty good. Was purple in sector 1. Fourth quickest though. Michael Vitale though improves his second lap to the top of the 13.10. Dean Reynolds second. Jake Henry third. Zach Chapman better in sector 2. Does he have a better lap? He does not. Dean Reynolds across the line second quick. Quick time Logan Wentz. But Anthony Morano takes it away from him for a second. At a 13.05, 1:30.52 for the Magic Ant-Man. Second lap time here for the Magic Ant-Man. Anthony Morano goes slower, but a great lap for Morano. As some more drivers are finishing up their laps. Here comes Kelly Wheeler. Second lap time, second quick, 13.076. And let's go to Isaac Salas, who works on his first lap time. Brian Dickens is fifth, 13.10. Under 30 seconds left to go here in qualifying. Isaac Salas, purple in sector 2. Quick time at a 13.047. Last race winner, 4,000ths quicker than Anthony Morano. So he will have the quickest time. Because of that, he'll start fourth in heat race number 1, I believe it will be tonight. So I believe because of that, that should mean Rayo, Molyneux, Dittmer, and Coffey in 13 through 16 will be your pole sitters for each of the 4 heats. So we're ready to go for heat race number 1, which is brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Gambler Motorsports, an official team of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Slide job Scotty on the pole. Scott Rayome in the number 4. Next to him, it's Jake the Snake Henry in the 171. Row number 2, Michael Vitale, the jokester in the 213, and Isaac Salas, slide job in the 5. Row 3, Shaggy, Zach Chapman in the 72, and Brian Moore Sr. in the 055. Final car on the grid here in Heat 1, the General Andy Patton in the 87. Your first of 4 heats this evening. This will determine who starts on pole for tonight's 30-lap feature. So glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Let us know who you're rooting for in chat. We'll give you a shout out live and on the air. Who are you watching out for very closely here, Brandon?
Well, how can you not look out for Isaac Salas, who's going to make his way up really quickly, but also keep your eye on Michael Vitale, starting on that inside second row, and he's going to be looking to pass Rayome and take off from this.
Look at how slick this track has gotten as the Steve King Foundation pace cars on pit road. Heat 1 is green. Rayome tries to slide up in front of Jake Henry. That he does with a good jump. Vitale up to second. Henry cracks the wall. Nearly 3 wide for third. Salas stuck in the middle trying to grab a spot. Henry hangs on to P3 for right now, but Rayome leads the opening lap.
Isaac Salas and Jake Henry get together.
Big crash.
Seniors and Zach. Oh, wow.
Henry around after some slight contact between him and Salas and just some racing, and then just pinballed across the racetrack in front of a couple of other cars, including Chapman and Patton's, Brandon.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Hopefully they didn't get too much damage, but now Isaac goes to work on Vitale. He's got that top side all to himself right now, and he's going to make that cushion work.
Yeah, trying to get that cushion to work. That'll likely be the place to be come feature time, especially with how slick this track has already gotten. Halfway home here, Scott Rayome continues to lead. Working on some quick laps. Vitale matching his pace, though, at the moment. 13.07s and 13.08s for each lap so far. 3 to go in the heat here, Brandon.
Isaac's kind of making a little slider, half slider move, and he's catching Vitale through the corner, just losing him on exit, unfortunately.
Remember,
as Rayome slowly starts to pull away.
Remember, top 4 drivers transfer into the show. Brian Moore Sr. with the final transfer spot. Just under a second separates him from Zach Chapman. Salas trying to do everything to grab second, but doesn't seem likely he'll be able to take it away. Vitale clears for second. Final lap underway, Brandon.
Isaac working that car, trying to find anything and everything. Unfortunately, Zach Chapman not able to pull up to fourth and take a spot.
Here comes Scott Rayom with the FTM number 4 off for 4. The FTM Express on the pole position tonight. Scott Rayom with a much-needed heat win. Vitaly Salas-Moore in the show. Chapman 5th, Patton 6th, and Henry in 7th. We now move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspections, proud partner of Brian Lawson and the Venom Racing Gang. Here's how they line up. Is Bud Molyneux on the pole in the 883. Next to him, it's Mason Hine in the 89. Row number 2, it's Brian Dickens. He's in the number 122. And the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, in the 32. Row 3, good to see him back. I've been wondering where the heck he's been. Dylan Kinsey in the 639. Next to him, it's Mike Weeda in the 81. Final car on the grid, Bristol, baby. Craig Bristol in the number 93. Good to see him back as well. Drivers to keep your eye on here in Heat 2, Brandon.
I mean, Morano is always fast in these cars. Look out for Dylan Kinsley there, that FTM starting 5th. He's going to try to make short work of this bottom row and hopefully get to that front. Oh, he's going to try to go get podium. Oh, he's going to start 3rd, too.
Yeah, no
That's
call
going to be lucky for him.
Yeah, no call for Brian Dickens onto the grid. And Dickens did take time, so fortunately a little bit late. He'll have to start from outside the pits and hope for a good starting spot in the last chance showdown later on. Again, top 4 drivers transferred to the feature. Winner starts on the front row. Molyneux in the brand new Venom Racing 883 alongside Hine. Bring us to green for Heat 2. Good start by Molyneux. Morano threads the needle. 3 wide for second. Doors Mason Hine into turn number 3. They stay 3 wide. Hine tries to run the cushion. Morano already up to second. Kinsey 3rd. Hine's got company for 4th. Here comes Weeda downstairs, Brandon.
Yeah, Hine was looking to make a move to the inside of Kinsey there, but unfortunately just got surprised by the 81 being right there, so he had to back off. Might cost him, though, as the 81 comes right up the inside.
Side by side for that final transfer spot, and Hine hangs on with some nice defense. Battle for the lead, though, breaks out. Here comes the Magic Ant-Man. Morano trying to put that 32 onto the top spot. Molyneux trying to defend, though, on the outside. Brandon, they're side by side.
Anthony Morano is absolutely hitting this bottom perfectly, and Bud Molyneux, all he can do is just hope that he gets some momentum and carry on around him.
On board, Dylan Kinsey.
Now gets a chance.
Yeah, Kinsey, who just brought him up all over the back bumper of the number 32. Battle for P2 breaking out. 3 cars all under a blanket for a front row starting spot tonight. 3 laps to go in the heat.
Morano's trying to make that outside work, just hoping for a little bit extra momentum off that cushion, as Dylan Kinsley hoping he stays up there as he's getting really good runs on him in through the corners.
2 laps to go. This is from the perspective of Bud Molyneux, who has got 1 podium in a 358 on a open 358 Monday night. Opens the door for Morano downstairs. Final lap underway here. Final spot still belongs to Mason Hine. Mike Weeda all over his bumper. But this is the battle for the win. Morano underneath on Molyneux. Side by side off for turn number 4 to the checkers. Molyneux takes the win. Morano 2nd. Kinsey 3rd. Hine 4th. Weeda 5th. Bristol 6th. Dickens does not take the green flag. Time for Heat 3, brought to you by Maurer Farm Management, proud partner of the Retreads division. As the Spider Monkeys on the pole, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Next to him, it's Sam Bachman in the 107. The 007, correction. Row number 2, it's Sean Green in the 27. Next to him, it's Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Row 3, Randy Shreves in the number 56 and Bob DeGood in the 7. Final car on the grid this evening, Devo Donovan Ross in the 5. A big hello as well to Isaac Scramps checking in, always a regular on the Coast to Coast Racing Network from Top Notch Trucking, proud partner of the Open 358 division. All right, Brandon, good luck here in Heat 3.
Thank you.
Winner starts inside of row number 2. Here we go. Contact already at the green flag. Sean Green and Kelly Wheeler bang doors. No harm, no foul. Everything is all good. But it's Brandon Dittmer that got off to the good start. Lap number 1 led by the 83. But the battle is on for P4 here. Did good looking underneath on green. Won't be able to get it to work. Kelly Wheeler in third. Bachman second. Now Bachman tries to find a way past the 83. Well, Wheeler finding a way past the 007. Wheeler, one of the quicker drivers we saw in practice. He was second quickest in qualifying. Sean Green's turned things up, trying to attack, but here comes Bachman. Downstairs on the 83 for the race lead. Nearly clips the Jersey barrier in turn number 2. Hangs on to it. Let's see if he can roll the bottom, use the Murano line to his advantage, but Dittmer hangs on to the lead. Halfway home here in our third heat race of the night. Dittmer brought it up in our pre-race show, our opening. This is the track where both grooves will come in very handy for the modifieds. Wheeler had to lift there for just a moment. This is a great onboard from his perspective. Bachman throws the slide job in, nearly gets to the wall. Dittmer underneath, but Bachman crowns the 83. That helps out the 007 for just a moment. 2 laps to go in the heat. Great exit from the 007 to Bachman. Dittmer good on corner entry, though. We're coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here in the heat. Will it be Bachman or Dittmer that starts in the inside of row number 2? Great entry for Bachman. Dittmer may have to send it in deep. Here they come off for 4 to the checkered flag. Bachman takes the win in heat 3. Dittmer second, Wheeler third, Green fourth, DeGood fifth, Ross sixth, and Shreve seventh. Whew. I am tired after all that. How about you, Brandon? You had a hard-fought race there.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You know, you lose that front spot, and then it's just you almost need the leader to make a mistake to get back around him, especially when it's tracks like this. I mean, it's great racing side by side all that time, but you know, can't ask for much more.
We now move on to our final heat race of the night. The starting lineup looks like this. Is Jason Coffey on the pole in the 146. Next to him, it's Randall Dixon, the 011. Row number 2, Dean Reynolds of the 79, and Logan Wentz of the 118. In the final row this evening, the Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513, and Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51. Real quick, who are you watching closely here in Heat 4?
Oh, look at that purple machine of Dino's. It's hard to miss that, and you always got to watch out for that guy.
Green flag.
Here we go as we're green for the final heat race. Winner starts outside of row 2. Top 4 drivers are in the show. Everyone else down to the last chance showdown. Contact between Dixon and Coffey. You saw the front end get off the ground of the Bandit for just a moment, but keeps her straight. No harm, no foul. Lap 1 led by Coffey. Up the hill, a lot of contact. Dean Reynolds sideways, but Logan Wentz pays the worst price of them all here, Brandon.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for Logan Wentz, and Dean almost paid a huge price. Him and Barker got into it out of 2 there, but luckily both able to keep it straight as Logan Wentz. Oh, Barker gets into the wall.
Yeah, Barker running third of the time. Now falls all the way back. Logan Wentz tries to get side by side with them for the 5th position. But Jason Coffey out in front. Company from behind, and Randall Dixon in the 011 on board with your leader. Dixon trying a slight diamond there, a small diamond in turns 1 and 2. Holds his ground in 3 and 4. 3 laps to go in the 4th heat here, Brandon.
Yeah, Dixon just hoping for the slightest mistake from Coffey, but Coffey's getting up there into the top of the exit of the corner where there's so much moisture still that's just able to drive him down and out down the straightaways.
Absolutely working out for the 146. Dean Reynolds and Clay Christopherson both closing on the top 2 because of the good racing they've had. Dixon again pulls up to the doorstep of Jason Coffey. not able to make anything work of it. Final lap underway in Heat 4. Coffee up on the wall, but that's just fine. He was up on the cushion. Here comes the 146 through 3 and 4. Puts it on the finish line and wins the final heat race. Dixon second, Reynolds third, Christopherson fourth, Wentz in fifth, Barker sixth. Now it's time to go for the B main. Here is how they look. 11 drivers in it. We are taking the top 8. 3 drivers will go home from it. Shaggy on the pole. Zach Chapman, the 72. Next to him, it's Mike Weida in the 81. Row number 2, Bob DeGood in the number 7 and Logan Wentz in the 118. Row 3, the General, Andy Patton in the 87 and Craig Bristol in the 93. Row number 4, Devo, Donovan Ross in the 5. The Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Rounding out the top 10, Brian Dickens in the 122. No call to grid. It was Jake Henry and Brian Dickens on row 5. Randy Shreve started in the 12th spot. Actually, it's Jake Henry with the no call to grid. There you see Dickens in the foreground of your screen. So Henry either starting late, hoping that he can pass 3 drivers late to be safe than sorry and not get involved in the accident, or he won't make the show.
Jake Henry has disconnected from the session. His night is done.
Alrighty. So the bottom 2 drivers will be going home. Take another lap before we go green. We'll watch the driver in 8th after lap number 1 in the 10-lap B main. And starting in that spot will be the Brood to Beast, Jeff Barker. Chapman and Weida set to bring us to green for the 10-lap B main. Here we go. Good start for Chapman. Up the hill he goes, though. Could allow a chance for Logan Wentz to try and get back underneath him. They stay door to door here in the corners. Lap number 1 on the board, led by Zach Chapman. 8th place driver right now. Donovan Ross, Brian Dickens side by side for 7th. Right now it's Dickens for the final spot for right now, Zach. I'm sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, they're just trying to hold on right now. All they got to do is just race clean and give each other some room, and they're all going to make the show here. As Zach gets slid for the lead by Logan Wentz.
Yeah, you saw Logan Wentz through the slide job on Chapman at Slide Job City for the lead at I-55, and it's dead even at the line. Way too close to call. Oh, trouble for Donovan Ross, who goes around. He was running in the 7th spot at the time, and that may likely put him out of the show. Final spot in to take advantage is Randy Shreve's contact in front between Dickens and Bristol. That's the battle on track for 5th, and now Bristol's on 2 wheels. And Bristol is out of it. He's in 9th. So we've got the bottom 2 out. Andy Patton can play her safe than sorry. Andy's in. The 8 drivers should know they are all good to go for now, BD.
Yeah, that all started out really bad for Craig Bristol. He got really loose in 1 and 2, and then it just snowballed from there, unfortunately ending his night. Oh, you hate to see it.
We just moved up to 2nd. How about Bob DeGood racing Zach Chapman for 3rd? Nice run for the driver, the number 7.
Bob DeGood has really come into one of his own here in the past couple seasons, and he is slowly getting better. And you just love to see it for that guy. It's about time he gets up here and races with us.
Try and see who gets corner exit advantage here. In the battle for the 4th position, Chapman still with it over Dickens for now on the preferred line. As he rim rides it, 1 lap to go here in the B main. Logan Wentz in a slide job battle with Zach Chapman earlier, and a slide job was able to clear and not look back.
Dickens and Zach get together.
As Dickens and Chapman get together, the 122 yeets his way through to take the 4th spot. Logan Wentz though wins the B main. As Donovan Ross and Craig Bristol, Jake Henry will all go home and drink early.
Donovan's got to catch a flight to Knoxville and go to Dingus.
Probably, or maybe even Tulsa. Step aside and go to break. When we come back, first feature of the night on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as warm-ups are continuing in the final seconds. Anthony Morano the quickest, a 13.242. Isaac Salas 2,000ths off the pace with a 13.24. Dean Reynolds third, 13.26. Brandon Dittmer, Sam Bachman fourth and fifth, 13.27. I got a feeling a lot of drivers are using the Swan base setup that's been provided here tonight, BD.
I'm just using the iRacing baseline and adjusting the gear and a little bit of wheel spacing. So I don't know what everybody else is doing. I'm pretty sure that's what Isaac does too, but he's a lot better driver in these things than I am.
Well, we'll have to see what happens. First feature, just about set to go down here. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, slide job Scotty. Scott Riom in the 4. Next to him, it's Bud Molyneux in the 883. Row number 2, Sam Bachman in the 007 and Jason Coffey in the 146. Row 3, the Jokester, Michael Vitale in the 213. And the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32. Row 4, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. And the Bandit, Randall Dixon in the 011. Rounding out the top 10, slide job, Isaac Salas in the 5. And Dylan Kinsey in the 639. Row number 6, Kelly Wheeler in the 110. And Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 7, that's Brian Moore Sr. He's in the 558. And Mason Hine in the 89. Row 8 is Sean Green in the 271. And Putt Clay Christopherson in the 51. Row number 9, Logan Wentz in the 118. And Mike Weida in the 81. Row 10, Bob Deger in the 7. And Brian Dickens in the 122. Row 11, Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72, and the Brew to Beast Jeff Barker in the 513. In the final row this evening, Randy Streves in the 56, and the General, Andy Patton in the 87. Picks to win, Brandon, who do you got?
Oh boy, as much as I hate to go against my buddy behind me, I'm going to go Anthony Morano.
There you go, Morano. You know what? I think he's due up for a win. Give me Scott Riom from the pole. He's due up badly.
I love it.
Anyway, good luck tonight, BD.
Thank you.
Field is off for turn number 2, set to take the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag for 30 tours of Peevely, Missouri. Steve King Foundation pace car on pit road. It's time to shake and bake for the first time tonight. Riom and Molyneux bring us to green. Side by side in 3 and 4, the 883 and the 4-lap 1, too close to call. I think you give it to Riom. It's 3 wide for the third position. Meanwhile, with Morano stuck in the middle, Coffey outside, Bachman downstairs. There's still wheel to wheel for the top spot. Lap number 2 led by Riom. Brandon Dittmer just about sideways off the corner. He hangs on to it down in the 6th position. Very tight racing early here at I-55, the home of the Ironman. Good battling now for 4th position as Morano has gotten away from the Peloton pack, I guess you could call it. Trouble in the back, Clay Christopherson has found a way to save it. Dylan Kinsey, maybe not. Yellow is out for the first time tonight. There was a lot of exciting racing going on all around this pack. Let's show you what happened. Kinsey caught the back of Randall Dixon. Really sideways, saved it, stacked up the field. Christopherson in the wall. Left front was damaged on the suspension. And played it safe and sorry and pulled her to a stop instead of trying to put her back on the pit road. So Dixon was the first one, I believe, to catch the wall. You see that steering's all messed up. Not the way that DK wanted to return to Coast Racing League action. Replays are going quick because of how small the track is here. First restart coming up here. Riom, Molyneux, Morano, Coffey, Bachman, the top 5. Riom selects the bottom as we're back to green. The 4 able to hold serve, but Morano looking for P2 on the track. Can he grab it from the newest member of Venom Racing? Not just yet. So Molyneux hanging on to that second position for right now. Bachman stuck up in 4th, and Jason Coffey rounds out the top 5 at the moment. He's wheel to wheel with Brandon Dittmer on 2 wheels. Hangs on to a lot of Rock'em Sock'em robots at the moment as we watch the race for P2. Morano and Molyneux still going at it. Remember, that was BD's pick to win. The Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. As they've been side by side for a bunch of laps. On board with the 007 of Bachman. As Andy Patton's crash, he's put her to pit road. We stay green. Bachman trying a different line compared to 2nd and 3rd, trying to go all the way up to the top shelf. So it's become a 4-car race for the lead as Bachman starts to close in. Now the yellow flag waves. Brian Moore Sr. around to the 55. Second caution waves here on lap number 10. Moore's trying to get that thing back onto pit road. That he does for a quick repair. Show you what happened to Moore. There may have been some contact from Dean Reynolds. Yep, there was. Stacked up the bottom as well. Saw Wheeler get involved in it too. On board with Moore Sr. Again, battling Dean Reynolds. That's for the 10th position on the track, I believe. And there it was. There's the contact. So I believe that was Wida involved. So Wida, if not Hine, I should say. Should be 1 lap to green this time by. And we'll watch this next restart from our aerial perspective. Scott Rayone, Bud Molyneux, row number 1. Anthony Morano, Sam Bachman, row 2. Michael Vitale, Randall Dixon, row 3. Jason Coffey, Brandon Dittmer, row 4. Isaac Salas, Dean Reynolds rounds out the top 10. As we're ready to come back to the green flag. Look at the 5-lap average on this restart.
Green flag.
Brandon Dittmer up on the wall. More contact, and Dittmer is on his side.
Austin is out.
Dittmer, who was running in the top 10. He got up in the wall. I'm not sure if there was contact that forced him in the wall or not. Or Malcolm Smill's Mill Ready replay will tell us. Yep, contact with Jason Coffey. I don't know if he came down to it or not. Wow. That's a wild ride for the Spider Monkey. Got a good view of the night there for a second. And so now all of our restarts for the rest of the race will be single file. We've had to turn the lights back on, I believe, because we had some drivers that would have been the last car on the lead lap that would have been still stuck behind the Steve King Foundation pace car. Let's go to that 5-lap average once again, show you who the best driver is on the racetrack. And as this updates, you can clearly tell it's the top 2 of Rayome and Molyneux, maybe top 3 as well with Morano as we come back to green. 11 laps complete here in our 30-lap feature. Now these restarts should definitely help out Rayome with that 1-lap freebie, but also Molyneux at the same time. Bachman feels a challenge for 4th coming. That's from the jokester Vitale. Not able to take it away, though. So they stay side by side through 1 and 2. That's your best battle on the track. Again, Bachman's been attacking that cushion all night tonight, if there is a cushion left over. Next target is at 32 of Anthony Morano for the bottom step of the podium. They're FTM teammates, remember. Bachman up at the wall for just a split second. Hang on to it. Wow, your top three all follow each other on the same groove. Halfway home, 15 up, 15 down. Scott Rayom has led, I believe, every lap tonight. Yellow is out. Sean Green up in the air in the 227. As he brings out our fourth caution this evening. He was 3 wide for position. Ooh, Conor Dickinson up and over he goes. And Zach Chapman went completely underneath him. Oh my. Right on board with the 271. Right there, Dickens contact. Wow. That had to have been an interesting look for Shaggy. He actually went into the pits, and I believe it was so we can use a quick repair. All right, ready for the restart here as we complete 17 laps this time by. We're back to green. Rayom able to hold serve in the number 4. Molyneux second, Morano still third. Bachman now takes a peek underneath for that bottom step of the podium. Remember, he was utilizing the top earlier on tonight. One staying put, though, downstairs for right now. We're finding a better battle on the track. You've got Hine and Ueda in the battle for 10th. Remember, something to keep in mind as well, how slick this track has gotten. See the track is starting to get dusty. No problems regarding visibility. Obviously, if it was still sunny, then that would be a much bigger issue. Dylan Kinsey, you see in that 639, trying to rebound as well after involved in, I believe it was the first, if not second, yellow of the night. As he races it out for the 10th spot. Underneath Ueda, trying to grab 11. We got another change in position. Randall Dixon low on Jason Coffey. He secures 8th of the line with 8 laps to go. Lead for Scott Rayom, meanwhile, is probably the biggest that we've seen it tonight. At 3/4 of a second with 7 laps to go. Last time he won a coast-to-coast racing league event, got to go back to November 21st, but it was a matinee race. Last time he won a race that was televised, October 3rd, 2024, with the big blocks. On Thursday Night Thunder. His last Open 358 win, August 5th. And guess what? It was at this track, I-55. He would love to end the streak tonight. He's 4 laps away. But meanwhile, you got Bud Molyneux, who likely will need a caution flag to get back in it, looking for his first win, I believe, on Monday Night Madness. How about Isaac Salas? He's up 4 spots in 5th. He's been very quiet all race long. Morano downstairs on Molyneux for the 2nd position. Pulled up to the doorstep, not able to make it work. 3 laps to go. Bachman still 4th. Isaac Salas rounds out the top 5. Up to the wall he goes. 2 laps to go at I-55. Scott Rayom looking to end the winless streak. And he's got 1 lap to do so. He's in the FTM Express number 4, down the back chute for the final time. Last time he won on Monday night was in this track in an open small block. Guess what? He gets to do it once again. Scott Rayom takes the win. Molyneux second, Morano third, Salas fourth, Vitale fifth, Bachman caught the wall in turn 4. He finishes 6th. Your biggest mover tonight is Mike Weida, up 7 spots to finish 11th. Brandon Dittmer, meanwhile, has ended up on 2 wheels in turn number 4. But ladies and gentlemen, slide job Scotty back on top. As the FTM clan comes by to congratulate 2 of their 3 drivers that ended up on the podium this evening. Good runs by Isaac Salas up 5, Dean Reynolds up 5, Clay Christopherson up 6. Obviously, this is a track that's definitely tough to pass. Also, nice run from, we mentioned Weida up 7, Dickens and Shreves and Barker 5, 7, 5 respectively. So there you see the rest of the field on the track. Brandon, I see you're trying to create another meme once again. I think he's AFK. Yeah, I think he's AFK. I can get further proof. Yeah, he was
That was
AFK.
disappointing.
Now he's back. Well, you're creating another meme with your car on the wall once again.
Oh, God.
All right, we've got 2 of your top 3 in. We got them all in, so we'll bring in our 3rd place finisher, Anthony Morano. Ant-Man, a nice run for you tonight. Give me an idea, though, with how slick the track was, how tough it was to pass here.
I was really, really tough. I mean, I think I only really got around one guy there. I don't remember. I think I started 6th, and so I know I got Sam there early and kind of went 3 wide there with Jason Coffey. So that was pretty much the only moves I was able to make. And I was trying to get around Bud there, and I just couldn't get enough bite come out of the corner with the track being so slick and gearing and everything.
You know, I was going to go there next. You know, that 3-wide battle you had in the middle, that was probably the highlight of your night. You had a close call. I think there may have been some contact at one point.
Maybe. I think I had 0x. I'm not sure, so I don't know. I know it was really, really close. So
Yeah.
I had 0 incident points. So I mean, if I did, I'd apologize to both guys there.
Nah, it was just both of you
had
guys
to go.
kept it straight. So, but yes, absolutely.
That's the main thing, trying to keep everybody clean there. No, try not to screw up anyone's race is the main thing.
Absolutely. But hey, you had a good run tonight. Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Congrats to Scott for winning, and it's a hell of a run by Bud. I mean, he's been coming along pretty good there, so it was great to see him up front. I thank my wife Sherry, the boys at FDM, Dean over at Super Dirt Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, Expert Insulation, Casper Flagstone, MDI TV, GripPack.com, Top Notch Trucking for sponsoring the 358s here. We all greatly appreciate it, so we can go back and watch our races. Marty, you for doing the broadcast number to Coast to Coast.
All righty. Well, great job tonight, and if I don't see you tomorrow night for the 200, Happy New Year, man, and we'll see how things go the rest of the week.
All right, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, sounds good. That race, by the way, tomorrow night, 200-lap big block modified race at Oswego, just like it is at Super Dirt Week. Let's bring the man that finished in 2nd spot, Bud Molyneux, with one of his best finishes once again in Monday Night Madness. Brandon, we'll let you take this one.
Hey, what, buddy, got a copy?
Yep, I'm here.
Absolutely phenomenal run today. What more did you need to get past Scott there?
I don't know. I think I needed a little bit more bite off the corner. That's where I was losing some time. I was getting into the corner pretty good. I just couldn't get off as fast as I wanted to, but well, got a second, so.
Were you just hoping and praying for a caution there on those last coming laps?
No, because I think if we had a caution, I think Anthony would have got around me, and maybe maybe the other one who was behind him. Can't remember right now, but 4th place car was coming up pretty fast.
You were just happy. You were just happy to go with what was happening.
Yeah, I kind of started, not really blocking Anthony, but I was trying to take his line a little bit away from him. So, just to hold second.
Absolutely. Well, great job tonight. Who do you got to thank for your run?
Top Knot Trucking for the sponsorship. Just joined Venom Racing, so those guys have been helping me out a lot. So lately, so them, and of course my wife for letting me race. So
Awesome. Well, congratulations tonight, and we're gonna see you in the 360s.
I might try it. I don't know. I'm not really good in the sprint cars, so.
I mean, neither is Isaac, and he still comes out. So.
Oh, yeah.
All right, there you go. Bud Molyneux, who finishes in second this evening. But now we go to victory lane. The streak is over. Finally back on top of the podium. Scott Rayome, I better keep picking you, man, because I think every time I pick you, you win races.
Well, hey, keep it up then. I like it. It's easy on a small track that's going to be slick. It's easy to pick the pole sitter, So
Was track position really important in probably not just the feature, but also heat races tonight? Because you qualified 13th, and that helped you out with the invert.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to qualify 13th. I was trying to qualify pole. I don't try to play those Dean Reynolds games, but no, I was, I just didn't. I missed it. It's weird when you come out of the pits here at I-55 for your first qualifying lap because you don't really get a whole full wind up like at Weed Sport where you're going to pass the flag stand and then get a whole lap to wind it up. Here you come out and it's like you get a half a corner and the green flag's coming out, and it kind of took me a little bit. I should have known, but it took me by a little bit of surprise, and I missed my entry on turns 1 and 2 on the first lap. So that kind of screwed me up for the qualifying run, but I mean, I guess I'll take it. It's total track position. That's what me and Anthony were just talking about, that, it's, if I hadn't qualified on the pole for the first heat and won the first heat, I'm going to, pretty much be mid-pack probably. And, it's not that those guys weren't fast enough. It's just the way the track was. It was just so hard to pass.
Where did you feel your car was better tonight than Bud?
Off from the corners. I think those guys were telling me I was pulling them coming off the corners, and so I was entering the corner and trying to keep the car as straight as possible. And the small patches of brown, like the lighter brown, I was still half throttle until I would get to those small patches that might have weren't very big, but I would just go flat foot there, get that launch, and then enter the corner again. I mean, this track's a lot like linear, and I joke with the guys over in Discord all the time that, I'm not very good at linear, but I mean, I think I probably have my most wins at linear. It's those tracks that they don't take a lot of talent to run, and that's where I'm good at. So it's, I don't have a lot of talent at this. So that's how I, those are the tracks that I like to run here. Linear. Cedar takes some skill, but, it's kind of the cookie cutter tracks, I like to call them.
Well, hey, most importantly, you got it done, man. Congratulations. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Well, first I gotta thank Dylan Kinsey for sucking tonight, because I mean, him and I have this friendly little rivalry going. So if it wasn't for him being so bad, well, I probably would have beat him anyway. It's Dylan. But let's see. I got to thank Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop. He's really been working hard to get us the dig. Dean, Super Dirt Car, all the other guys over at FTM, and this is all a pre-planned interview, Marty. These guys are all messing with each other in Discord. So I'm gonna, like, if I get up there on the podium, I'm gonna use all your lines. I'm gonna mess with Dylan. So I'm just having some fun tonight. You for doing the broadcast, all the guys over at Coast to Coast. I'm very mad at Patrick Spangler for allowing Dylan to run this race tonight. I mean, it's his fault that Dylan was even out there, honestly. But I don't know, man. I'm just having some fun.
Hey, you deserve it, man. You deserve to have some fun,
Marty.
Man. So
yeah, I like to pride myself in the not generic interviews. I like to throw some curveballs at you.
Yes, hey, I get it, man. So hey, you deserve it. You won tonight. Congratulations.
Yes, and
great job.
And I got a sticker. I got my streak going. I still got a sticker for the season.
Yes, you got a sticker. Great job, man. Congratulations, Scott.
All right, bud. We'll talk to you later.
You too. Scott Rayome takes the win here. First win on a televised night, or I should say first win on a televised night since I believe it was going back to, I had it here somewhere. Last time he had won on Open 358 competition. You got to go all the way back to August 5th. Last time he won in points racing on a televised night was October 3rd. So congrats to Scott on getting that done. We will step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's Rebels time on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Racetracks and sunsets, we welcome you back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for our Rebels as they are about to begin. Our Rebels are brought to you by RaceMed, the newest member of the Coast to Coast Racing League family. Marty Scala with you alongside Brandon Dittmer as so we get set to go for Rebels action here. BD, 13 drivers with us. 2 weeks ago, our first race of the season, that was Dylan Berg. That was a key contender in that race and did not win. Actually fell short in the race to Joseph Grandy. Grandy not here. Is this the night Berg answers back and gets the win?
Berg is fast at a lot of these tracks, and he's 4th quick right now. It's just going to be a matter of this. Who can really figure out this track the best? There's a nice, really good slick to the middle of both corners right now. The bottom, I think, is going to have a lot of bite, and that top side with the cushion is going to have a real nice kick to it there come race time.
So qualifying is underway. First driver we'll watch on the track, the General, Andy Patton in the number 87 as qualifying is underway. Roger Craig set the bar at 11.418. Andy Patton goes quick time, 11.393. Donovan Ross is second quick, but Dylan Berg the quickest. 11.273. 400's better than Clay Christopherson as he makes his way through 3 and 4. Patton purple in sector 1 puts her to second at 11.197. Christopherson in the purple once again up to third, 11.251. Here comes Mason Hine in the number 89 through turns number 3 and 4 in the green in sector 1. Better at 11.61. One driver left to qualify here. It's the Goose, Jed Cote in car number 11. Makes his way through 3 and 4. His lap 1. Purple in sector 2. 5th quick at 11.346. In the green in sector number 1. He may be in the orange here in sector number 2. Stand by though. Is this a quick time lap? No, 11.27. 4th quickest, 11.265. So we've got 2 heats for you this evening. And so that'll put Greg Parmalee, Roger Craig in 7th and 8th on the pole for each of the 2 heats. Again, everybody makes the show here. Berg and Patton will start 4th in their respective heat. So with that being said, we are just about ready to go green for heat race number 1. First heat race is brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Here's how they line up. As Greg Parmalee on the pole in the 4. Next to him, it's Steve O'Donovan Ross in the 5. Row number 2, Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51. And Dylan Berg in the 14. Row 3, Cale Bixler in the 789. And Steve Maurer in the 888. The final car on the grid, Mason Hine in the 89. Sprint cars at I-55, Brandon, they just never disappoint.
Oh, absolutely not. This was great racing, great tight quarters racing, and no matter which division we're on, we always have put on a show.
Green, green.
Oh, contact right off the start.
A very interesting start there between Parmalee and Donovan Ross. Steve-O's lost the steering on the
contact.
5. So much contact, and Dylan Berg is the one that pays the price the most, as he has fallen to the back. Sometimes that invert will bite you in the dust. And how about this? Lap 1 led by Greg Parmalee. Blake Christopherson still on his tail. How about Steve Maurer looking for second on the 51? What a start he's got going on right now. Oh, Christopherson and Parmalee touch for a second.
Steve's just trying to get wound up, trying to get back up to him. Come on, Steve.
On board with the number 88. Looks low on the 51, a putt for a second. This could allow Parmalee to pull away. Great exit, though, from the 51. Quickest car on track, even after the contact. Donovan Ross, 11:20, top shelf where Mama hides the cookies for a third. Maurer tried to block him there, and Ross had to Hail Melon it because of it. That could do some damage on the right side of that number 5, Brandon.
Yeah, it's might bend in that toe just a little bit. Gonna make it kind of hard for him to steer.
Meanwhile, with all of this, Christopherson has taken the lead away from Greg Parmalee. He's increased the lead to a half second, coming to 1 to go in Heat 1, Brandon.
Demo almost got into the wall hard again. He's going to try one more shot at Maurer.
Looking at Senda here in 3 and 4. Checkers out here in the heat. Christopherson takes the win, and Maurer edged out Ross at the end by 800ths. But it's putt-putt your Heat 1 winner that starts on pole. Now moving on to Heat 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspections. Here's how they line up. The best man on the pole, Roger Craig at the 747. Next to him, Gary Offut in the 94. Row number 2, the Goose, Chad Cote in the 11. And the General, Andy Patton in the 87. Final rows, Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72. And the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. A reminder, tomorrow night, the second week of the Dayton Corinna Memorial begins, as we've got our big block 200 lap race at Oswego. That begins at 8 o'clock on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. That's New Year's Eve tomorrow night. Then New Year's Day on Wednesday, we've got a 100 lap race at Huset's. Don't miss out on that. All things right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. All proceeds towards Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer. As we're green, P2 underway. Ooh, contact in the back here. Steve Bixler in the wall from Andy Patton. Roger Craig leads the opening lap as Offit and Cote duke at it for P2, Brandon.
Yeah, Offit's going right on that outside, right on that cushion. Really making it rip up there as Cote's tried to fight back. Unfortunately, going to fall short.
This could allow Gary Offit to have a chance at Roger Craig for the race lead. High, wide, and handsome, ripping the lip in 3 and 4. Can't get it on corner exit, though. Leaders all liking the high side here around I-55 in Peevely. Offit all over the Bass Man for the race lead. He's got Dayton Corinna on top of the wing, trying to put her to her heat win. They're still side by side. 3 laps to go, though, at the line, Brandon.
Roger's going to slam the door on him going through 3 and 4.
What a defense.
Holy cow.
Yeah, great defense from the 747. Back on board with Gary Offit to the wall, though he goes. And that'll cost him second to Cote. 2 laps to go. He may have some steering damage. Nope, all is good. But now watch Chad Cote. The Canadian's going to go at it here for the Heat 2 victory. Who's starting outside pole tonight? We're about to find out. Final lap is underway. Cote all over Roger Craig. The Bass Man slams the door. Oh, Chad Cote up on the pancake, but he clefts the wall. Roger Craig takes the Heat win. Woo!
Just got a little tight there going into 3, and that's all she wrote.
That was a heck of a battle for the Heat win, and the Bass Man prevails in the end. Let's step aside and go to break. When we come back, feature time of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as warm-ups continue to wrap up here. Clay Christopherson currently the quickest, 11:4.93. Dillenberg second at 11:53. Same with Chad Cote. Donovan Ross fourth, 11:66, and Zach Chapman fifth at 11:69. So checkers are just about ready to come out here on the warm-ups, which they are. And we are ready to go. 13 drivers set to take the green. Top 5 will transfer into the Renegades this evening. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson, the 51. Next to him, the Bassman, Roger Craig, in the 747. Row number 2, Greg Parmalee in the 4, and the Goose, Chad Cote, in the 11. Row 3, Steve Maurer in the 888, and Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72. Row number 4, Devo, Donovan Ross in the 5, and Gary Offa in the 94. Rounded out the top 10, Cale Bixler in the 789, and the General Andy Patton in the 87. Row 6, Mason High in the 89, and the Mayor Steve Bixler in the 75. Final car on the grid, Dillenberg in the 14. Picks to win this evening, I'm going to go with the man they call Shaggy. Give me Zach Chapman in the 72.
That's a good choice. He's been coming into one of his own lately. I'm stuck between 2 drivers, and it's really going to depend how this race plays out. If it stays green, I think Clay's going to get this, but if we have a couple cautions, I think Donovan Ross is going to be able to come up. I think I'm going to go with my initial pick. I'm going to go with Clay Christopherson.
All right, Putt-Putt from the pole. We'll see if the pole sitter can do it once again. 1 lap away for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. 13 drivers are going at it for 30 laps around Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Well, for the second time tonight, it is time to shake it bake. The Steve King Foundation pace truck on pit road. Christopherson and Craig bring us the green. It's time to get it on.
Oh, we're already stacking up. Oh,
wow, how did Maurer keep it straight?
Oh, Devo!
How did Devo keep it straight is now what I'm wondering. Lap number 1 led by Clay Christopherson. Roger Craig looking underneath for that race lead. Can't get any drive off in turn number 2. Cote and Chapman side by side for the 3rd spot. Putt though hangs on. Cote moves up to 3rd, Brandon.
Cote moves up to 3rd with Zach Chapman right on him for that battle. Zach doing everything he can to try to move on up.
Greg Parmalee currently rounds out the top 5. Here comes Cote challenging Roger Craig. The battle from the heat win is on once again. This time Craig gives the goose some room, but Roger I thought he was going to throw it in with a slide job. Pressures Cote up to the wall. Roger still hanging on. The goose of the wall. Contact with Roger. And through goes Shaggy. I'll take the 2-for-1 discount.
Shaggy sends it. Gets really tight.
Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, my goodness, Parmalee!
Dylan Berg gets around, too!
We're all wrecking. We've all gone crazy, and it's only lap 6.
Dylan Berg, Zach Chapman both land on their wheels. They'll have a chance to get right back out there, but holy cow, what a shakeup.
Let's show you what happened here in real time. There's just contact all over the place, but oh my gosh. Did you see the air time from Parmalee?
Yes, I did. It was impressive.
That was
Man needs a pilot's license.
Yep. Not Lernerville, but hey, we'll take it. Right on board with Chapman. Threw it in, and then there was, I think he was actually neck coated in that accident, Brandon.
Who neck coated?
Zach.
I gotta go back and look. Cote, oh yeah, that's neck code from Chad Cote after he made contact with Craig, and that's started everything off. That's super unfortunate right there.
Pace truck back on pit road. First restart of the night for the Rebels. We're back at it. Christopherson able to hold serve. Cote in second. Look at Gary Offut trying to make his way around the outside of Roger Craig from P3. That won't work though. The 747 hanging on. Final spot in the top 5.
3 wide for 5th.
Kill Bixler road to see, but yes, Brandon, 3 wide for 5th. We got some good stuff happening all over this racetrack.
Almost 4 wide as Devo comes on the inside.
Oh boy!
Patton
and Bixler got together, and Devo pays the worst price of it all. Now Ross and now Steve Bixler. Not fun to be a Bixler right now. A lot of contact all over the place. Bixler luckily does not have anything damaged. We go to the race for P2. Meanwhile, Cote and Craig still continue to do some good work here. Let's go to the 5-lap average. You'll clearly see whose race it is with everybody saying Clay Christopherson.
Clay has just gotten out in front, running his own race, saying, I do not care what y'all do, just don't get me involved.
Near contact between him and Zach Chapman. No yaw for the 72 into turn number 3 with a slide job. Everybody hanging on to their cars for dear life here, Brandon.
Yeah, the slicker it gets, the more fragile everybody's tires seem to become, and luckily we've kept green this entire second run. I do not know how, but somebody ought to buy a lottery ticket.
Mason Hine, Andy Patton battling for the 4th position with the way they're battling. Roger Craig, Chad Cote pulling away. Gap between Craig and Hine at 1.5 seconds. Hine trying to send it deep, decides not to in this great race for 4th. Both drivers are up 6 spots tonight, having great performances, but there with Hine, if he takes the spot away from the general, he moves up 7.
They're both racing side by side, but they got to watch out. Here comes Devo. He's going to try and get them both here pretty soon.
Still great racing all around. We're past the halfway point. Clay Christopherson started on pole. He's led every lap so far tonight. The gap 2.4 seconds on Chad Cote. Still watching the race for P4 closely. This is the closest battle on track, and this is also allowed Donovan Ross to close in. How much contact has he had to go through tonight?
He has gone through so much. Let me take a look here. He is currently sitting at 6-6, so he's got a little bit of leeway. But he's found that bottom, and he's been making it work.
Let's bring up Roger Craig here, as he had stayed in tip-top shape. Last time he finished on the podium was February this year at Port Royal. He's only had 3 podiums in the Rebels division. Best finish is 3rd. 7/10 off from Chad Cote, though, to get his best finish of his Rebels career. 7 laps to go, though, here, as the Goose is riding the wall there for just a bit.
Yeah, Rogers is running that middle, running his own race is exactly what he needs to do. He does not need to push it at all. Just hoping that Chad Cote makes a mistake. As Donovan Ross gets into the wall again, as Zach slides him for
Zach
6th
Chapman
place.
in the last 5 laps, actually the quickest driver on track. He's looking for the final spot to transfer into the Renegades tonight.
He's doing a little.
We take it.
He's doing a little diamond line in the middle of the corners. I'm absolutely loving that, seeing how that gives him a runoff. And he is just licking his chops looking at these two, looking for a 2-for-1 special.
4 laps to go. Roger Craig had some company. Actually, they were going through some lap traffic, correction, with Steve Bixler. Chapman trying to catch both Hine and Patton. On the top shot, the haunted shield line. Chapman up to 5th. Past Mason Hine. Now can you grab a spot past Andy Patton? You got Steve Bixler the way, well, though, with 2 laps to go. Bixler gives room. Meanwhile, we're on the final lap. It's been a dominant race for Clay Christopherson with a 3.8 second lead on Chad Cote. Makes his way through 3 and 4. Clay Christopherson takes the win at I-55. Cote 2nd, Craig 3rd. 4th is Zach Chapman. The battle for 5th. Patton takes it over Mason Hine. All those 5 in the show. But how about putt-putt Clay Christopherson getting the checkered flag? And I'm going to have to take some extra research on this while we talk with everyone, but I do need to confirm some things here. So you see the results here of your top 10 on screen. Again, top 5 all eligible to move their way up. I'm trying to check here, and I can confirm, by the way, a big congratulations to Putt Putt. That is his first ever Rebels win. So we've got a first-time winner in Putt Putt. Once more, congratulations to him. We'll talk with your top 3 in just a moment. We've got all of them in. And let's talk with the Bassman, Roger Craig. Brandon, we'll let you take this interview, all right?
Hey, Roger, it's Brandon. You got a copy?
Hey, Ralph, how you doing, buddy?
I knew you were going to do it. You had a great race tonight. You held your own. You ran your own race, your own line, and you didn't push anything. That's really all you had to do to get that 3rd place tonight. What more did you need to get the Chad, though?
I didn't. Well, I was hoping the only way it would happen is if Chad would have hit the wall, and he was. I couldn't catch him. I could stay with him, but I was just hoping that that the bottom would stay in, and he might just have, a little bit of trouble with the wall.
He got tight there a couple of times. I thought you were going to be able to get up there and get around him, but unfortunately not. What did you think of the track tonight in its current state?
It was awesome. we had the matinee today. Of course, it wasn't as worn in, but the setup I had was working great, and I just took a ton of gear out and just slow and steady and under control. So other than I think Chad and I got into each other a bit on one of the early laps, it was a good race and steady.
Absolutely. Well, an incredible run tonight. Who would you like to thank for this run?
Well, I got to thank the booth boys here. You guys are doing a great job, and the Salty Dogs, of course, couldn't do anything without all my buddies in the room. And shout out to Terry Landis, who was spotting for me tonight and kept me calm. And of course, my buddy Willie, he's getting stronger every day, so we're all pulling for him. It's great to see. And just a reminder that we got two big events coming up tomorrow night and the night after. We got the Marty's the Cala New Year's special. It's kind of like waiting for the ball to drop, with this. So it's a great event, and there's payouts, everything else, and then the Husets 100. It'll be twin 50s, 360s at Husets, and it's all for a good cause. It's for Degan Corinta, and trying to find a cure for cancer for children. So if anybody can afford to donate, we ask them to consider that. But it should be two fun races, and I'm done.
All right. Well, congratulations on the run. Will we see you in Renegades?
Yeah, I'll take a chance to look. I try to stay out of their way.
Sounds good.
Attaboy,
See you there. Good
Roger.
luck.
Great job.
Thank you.
All right, the Bassman finishing third. Best finish in a while in Rebels action. Let's go to the man that finished in second, Chad Cote. You and Roger were going at it all night long. How much fun was that?
It was fun, honestly. It's always a great time running with Roger.
Take me through your race as a whole, where you felt you were doing well from your perspective. The top obviously was the place to be. There's some times, though, that you had to lift a little bit.
Yeah, that top, it was fast, it was fun, but you're absolutely right. I think I broke my right front probably like 10 laps into the race, so I would push real bad going into the corner, which was not fun. I know Clay went to the bottom. I don't have the ability to drive down there, so I was just sticking it at the top, and if it worked, it worked, to be completely honest.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Just the new race team over at All American Motorsports, Justin, Fernie, Vossi, Patrick, those guys. Marty, you for the broadcast, and Roger for the league.
So that's what that AAM stands for on the side.
Yes, sir.
Brandon, I find it ironic. Chad, you're from Canada, and it's All American Motorsports.
Right.
I had to bring that up. I had to. So, but anyway,
no problem.
Great job tonight, man, and best luck in Renegades if we see you.
Thanks, guys.
All righty. That's Chad Cote, your second place finisher. And now we get to talk with your winner. It is his first ever Rebels victory. Puck Clay Christopherson. BD will let you take this one.
Hey, Clay, it's Brandon. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely fantastic run, and I pegged you from the beginning. If we kind of stayed green, you were going to run out and do your own thing and absolutely dominate. How did you feel out there?
Car felt like it was on rails. I was running the top actually pretty soft compared to what it sounded like what the other guys were doing, and I just kind of got in a rhythm, and then I tried running the bottom, and it was a slingshot down there, so I stayed down there towards the end to cool my tires a little bit.
Do you feel like when you got to traffic, were you kind of scared there that they were going to kind of interfere with you at all, or do you trust them to kind of stay out of the way?
At first, when I saw them, I was a little skeptical, but they were pretty much all holding their line, and it was I could kind of pick where I wanted to go to get around them. They weren't all over, which was awesome. So yeah, I didn't worry too much about lap traffic.
That's always a good thing to hear. And as Marty said, you are a first-time Rebels winner.
What's that?
First-time winner in Coast to Coast or Rebels, Marty?
Rebels.
And Rebels?
Rebels, I believe, yeah.
That's an absolutely fantastic job. Are we going to see you in Renegades tonight?
I'm in here. Don't know what's going to happen, but I'm here.
That's fantastic. Good luck to you tonight. Who do you got to thank for this amazing run?
you guys for putting this on, and then all the guys at FTM and Swan Speed Shop for 358 and Big Block sets.
All righty. Well,
Great job
congrats
today,
on the
Clay.
win, and good luck in Renegades.
Thank you, guys.
Clay Christopherson, putt, first ever Rebels win. We're going to step aside and go to break. When we come back, the Renegades take shape on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love. It was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Under the lights here at I-55. Welcome back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, guys. We get ready to go here for Renegades in Peevely, Missouri. Marty Sakala with you alongside Brandon Dittmer. Brandon, we had some fun racing going on 2 weeks ago with the Renegades at Lernerville Speedway, and we saw a great battle for the feature win. In the end, it was Kyle Moonen that took the victory. Isaac Salas and Ross Corinna were going to work there in the end, but in the end, Moonen took it.
Yeah, absolute phenomenal battles there last week. Lernerville always brings out some great racing, especially there in the Renegades. This week is not going to be any different. This track, we saw it in the Rebels. It's going to be absolute tight, great racing, 2-lane, and we're going to see some absolute incredible. As I think we're going to actually have a B main here tonight.
We've got 24 drivers with us right now. I don't know if we've got any extras we're waiting on right now.
We have one coming in right now, the 51. I don't know who that is off the top of my head.
That was the 51?
Yeah, the 51.
Clay's already in here.
Oh, that's John Short.
Oh, yeah, John Short.
He is, looks like he's connecting right now.
Awesome, so we will have a B main. Right now, Randy Shreves, the quickest driver on track at a 10:27. Brendan Lacey, second quick at a 10:35. Ross Corinna third, 10:36. Isaac Salas fourth, 10:44. And Stephen Gollner is fifth at a 10:50. While we wait, let's take a look and see who's watching in the chat. Jason Butterfield, as always, rooting for the Venom Racing team. Dylan Kinsey said in his after Rayom's interview, we let Scott win tonight. Kelsey,
that's what I'd say if I let Isaac beat me.
Yeah,
I let him win.
Kelsey checking in, rooting for Isaac, and Gary Spangler. Been a while since we've seen him. Happy New Year to you, sir. And Patrick Spangler says, looks like I believe it was the 789 with the bent wing. So ready to go here for qualifying. First driver on the racetrack, Brennan Lacey in the 114. Brand new paint job on that Stephen Gollner racing ride. And purple means they're on the pole. Green means they're working on their best lap. Lacey to set the bar here at 11:44. Clay Christopherson second quick. Patrick Spangler now second. He's 2 thousandths off the pace. Brendan Lacey lap 2 better at 11:40. Spangler green in sector number 1 off at 11:54. Rick Main fifth quickest in the Holiday 187. 11:48 on lap number 1. Randy Shreves in the purple at 1 point. Main up to third. Shreves 11:47. That puts him fifth quickest. Terry Landis just wrapping up his qualifying time. He's 16th quickest. Blake Chapman working on lap number 1, his first lap time. Goes 16th, 11:59. Brandon Dittmer 14th in the number 83. 11:56, second lap time in the green. Is it better though? It is 11:40, nope, 11:56. Blake Chapman's lap better, 11:49, he's 9th. Ross Corinna 10th, also 11:49. He's in the green. What's this up to? It's up to second, 11:436 to second. John Short wrapping up his qualifying stint, 11:87 lap 2. First lap counts 11:61. Isaac Salas wrapping up his qualifying lap. Quick time! 11:365 for Slide Job. What a lap, as he's the quickest. 24 drivers with us. We'll have 4 heats. Patton, Chapman, Cote, and I believe DeGood. She had somebody else. Stephen Goldner will start on the pole in his first heat. First heat race brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Here's the starting lineup as Stephen Goldner is on the pole in the 30. Next to him, Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 2, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39, and Isaac Salas in the 5. Looks like the inside line moving up 1. No call for Stephen Goldner on the grid. So Roger Craig and Bob DeGood on row number 3. Barry Goldner by himself starting in 7th. Jack Clevenger is starting 8th. Brandon, who are you watching out for as we get ready to go green?
Mr. Isaac Salas.
Alrighty, here we go. First heat race underway. Top 4 transfer winner starts on the pole. Spangler a little sideways off for turn 2, but gets a good jump. Shreve second, Pat in third. Salas currently in 4th. Lap number 1 led by the high side banger. Shreves closing in on him though for that race lead, Brandon.
Yeah, Shreves kind of doing what he can on that top, kind of in the middle, kind of finding that tack there, trying to run down Patrick Spangler. As Andy Patton and Isaac Salas almost get together.
Patton with that final transfer spot in the show. Find its way up to Isaac. Different lines for 2nd and 3rd here off of turn number 2. Salas looking for some bite on corner exit. He found it for just a little bit. Halfway home.
Isaac got 4 tires in the tack down low. He's going to go right by Randy Shreves.
And it's working out really well for him. Salas clears in the wall. Wheelie from Randy Shreves. Somehow, he kept all 4 wheels down on the ground. I don't know how he wrecked.
And he's going to keep a transfer position for now. Holy cow.
He is hanging on to that final spot. Bob DeGood trying to attack for 4th, on board with the 7th. Final lap underway here. Roger Craig trying to become a factor in this race for 4th position too. Underneath DeGood for 5th, can't get it to work. DeGood one last shot. Shreve shuts the door, checkers wave. The high side banger starts on the pole. Battle for 4th, Shreves takes it over DeGood. Great heat win to get things started. We're ready for Heat 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspections. Heat 2 lineup has the salesman Blake Chapman on the pole. Next to him, the Brewer-to-Beast Jeff Barker in the 513. Row 2, Rick Main, the 187, and Brendan Lacey, the low-line master, in the 114. Row 3, Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72, and Jesse Bandy, the Vanderbilt master, in the 49. Final row, the Money King, Kyle Mood in the 24, and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, in the 161. Brandon, who are you watching out for?
I'm going to watch out for Zach Chapman. I think he's going to be able to storm through this. But let's talk about Blake and Patrick both nailing this thing to start on the pole. That is that's some conspiracy serious stuff right there.
Green
Could definitely help them out all with track position, that's for sure. Green is out for heat 2. Good jump for Blake Chapman. Barker put in second. Lacey around the outside of Rick Main. Trying to grab third of the line. Up in the wall he goes for a second. Stuck in fourth. Jeff Barker trying the over-under technique on Rick Main. The contact allows Lacey to go through for the 2-for-1 discount. Brennan Lacey on the top shelf steals the cookies to second.
Absolutely ripping that outside, and Blake Chapman is almost a sitting duck with him getting all that momentum up there.
Here comes Jesse Bandy around the outside on Barker for the 4th position. Just edged him out at the line. Barker's still trying to fight that 49 car. And Bandy's a driver who I believe, if I recall correctly, always phenomenal at these smaller tracks here, Brandon.
I don't know off the top of my head, but he has always been pretty good here. He's
Brennan
just
Lacey.
kind of get
Battle for the race lead breaking out here off of turn number 4. Quickest lap, 11:39 Lacey, and Pake takes his way through the point with 2 laps to go in heat 2, Brandon.
He found his groove really nicely. He just blared away from Blake Chapman. Holy cow.
Remember, Steven Goldner Racing, oh so good at I-55. Just look at the way Lacey and Goldner have made their way through the field from the back to the front in recent races. Brennan Lacey takes the win in heat 2. Chapman second, Bandy third, Main fourth in the show. Barker, Moonen, Landis, Zach Chapman into the B main.
Whoa, what happened to Zach?
He had something happen after he took the white flag, I believe. Was running sixth at the time.
He caught the wall and got up and over. That's unfortunate.
Let's pull up a replay here. We'll have to pull it up through iRacing. Lost the top wing in 1 and 2. And yeah, got upside down. Moving on to Heat 3, brought to you by Maurer Farm Management. As we've got Brian Moore Sr. on the pole. Next to him, it's Gentleman Jack Kitt in the 217. Row number 2, Clay Christopherson, putt-putt in the 51, and the boss, Ross Carina, in the 10. Row 3, you've got the Goose, Chad Cote in the 11, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Final row, Shorty, John Shore in the 51, and Brad Waite in the 814. Alrighty, BD, best of luck here in Heat 3.
Thank you.
Again, top 4 transfer. Winner starts inside row 2 with green. All 2x2 off the corner. Moore and Head. No one with a clear advantage, but lap 1 led by Moore Sr. by a couple of thousandths of the line. Christopherson trying to grab second. Nice drafting work by Carina towards Jack Kitt, trying to grab that second spot. The boss able to diamond down in 3 and 4 to try and grab third for just a second. Christopherson trying to get second off turn 4, near contact between Carina and Hit as they race for third. Christopherson slides up, clears the 217 for P2 on board the 51, a putt-putt. So now Carina and Head do battle for the third spot. Look at this run here. Christopherson for the race lead on Moore Sr. Trying to use what Brennan Lacey did to grab the lead, and that's the case. Putt-putt leads lap number 5. Chad Cote just wrecked moments ago, he's out. Jack Kitt with the final transfer spot in the show. Brandon Dittmer trying to chase him down. John Short tries to send it deep on Brad Waite for 6. That doesn't work. Carina able to clear Moore Sr. for the second position. Final lap underway here. Head up to third. Moore Sr. down to fourth. Could Brandon Dittmer have a chance to take it away? All the way downstairs on the 558. Off the corner. Oh my goodness. I think Moore got him. Oh my goodness. Meanwhile, Putt takes the win in heat race number 3. Did you get it, Brandon, or did Moore get him?
No, Moore got it.
Ah, great move. I gotta give you credit for that.
That is not a smart move by me. I should not have done that.
Hey, that was gutsy. So, all right, we've got the B main. We've transferred 12. 12 drivers will advance. The driver that finishes last goes home. Here's a look at the starting lineup as Bob DeGood is on the pole in the 7. Next to him, the Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row 2, the Spider Monkey. Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Next to the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747. Row 3, the Money King, Kyle Moon in the 24, and Brad Waite in the 814. Row 4, Jack Clevenger in the 78, and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Rounded out the top 10, John Shore in the 51 and Barry Goldner in the 36. Row 6, Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72, and the Goose Jack Cote in the 11. Final car on the grid this evening, Stephen Goldner in the 30. We will focus on the driver in 12th after lap 1, starting that spot, Zach Chapman. BD, best of luck.
Thank you.
Go an extra lap here before we go green. Here we go for the green.
Green, green, green.
DeGood and Barker bring us down underway for the last chance showdown, 10 laps. DeGood gets the edge over Jeff Barker, Brandon Dittmer underneath for second. Oh, Stephen Goldner is in trouble. John Short, though, is spun. Everybody keeps her going. We stay green. So we focus on the 12th place guy, Stephen Goldner. Nobody, though, with any big-time issues. Goldner, one of the drivers to be key to watch out for. At SGR number 30, a past winner here in the past. Gap about 3/4 of a second between him and John Shore. Looking at other battles on the racetrack. Some close ones. Jack Clevenger versus Roger Craig for 5th. Clevenger takes away the 5th spot. Bob DeGood, gap between him and Brandon Dittmer, 0.3 of a second. So a nice job from DeGood so far, keeping that car up towards the front. Drivers looking at options here where they feel is a lot better for them. Dittmer high, wide, and handsome. That's how other drivers have taken the lead here tonight. Can he get the cushion to work on for turn number 2? Side by side, the Spider Monkey to the race lead. Coming to 3 to go. Up in the wall he goes, though. Kyle Moonen, meanwhile, up to 3rd, makes his way past Jeff Barker. Final spot in still belongs to Stephen Goldner. John Short, though, is closed in, utilized on the high side. Is it Shorty's time of the 51? We'll have to see. 2 laps to go for the final spot in the show. If a wreck breaks out in front, that'll help out the driver in last. Stephen not going to the high side. 1 lap to go. Stephen may have caught the wall. John Short up to 12th. If Stephen wants it, he's got to go and get it. Not even taking the risk. Checkers wave. John Short in the show. Stephen Goldner goes home. Who saw that coming? Brandon Dittmer, your B-main winner. We go to break. When we come back, it's showtime on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. A good look from up top the flag stand. As you get a look at your warm-up times here, Brendan Lacey the quickest, 11:83. Kyle Moonen second, 11:92. Patrick Spangler third, 11:96. Rick Main is fourth, 11:97, and Ross Corina fifth, and 11:98. So the checkers have waved. We are ready for our 35 lap feature this evening. So as we get set to go, let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39, and the low line master, Brennan Lacey in the 114. Row number 2, Clay Christofferson, putt in the 051. And slide job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row 3, the salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20, and the boss, Ross Corina in the 10. Row 4, the general, Andy Patton in the 87, and the bandy boat master, Jesse Bandy in the 49. Rounded out the top 10, Gentleman Jack Hitt, he's in the 217, and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 6, Rick Main in the 187, and Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Row 7, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, and the Money King, Kyle Moonen in the 24. Row 8, Bob DeGood in the 7, and Jack Clevenger in the 78. Final third of the field, Jeff Barker, Roger Craig, row 9. Brad Waite, Terry Landis, row 10. Chad Cote, Barry Goldner, row 11. Zach Chapman, John Short round out the field in row 12. Picks to win here tonight. Brandon, who you going with?
You know, I'm not going to stray away from my teammate. I'm going to go with Mr. Patrick Spangler.
You left it wide open for me. Brennan Lacey.
It was either between Patrick or Blake. For me, I was going to leave you Lacey either way.
Well, good luck tonight, man.
Thank you.
24 cages of cold metal with hot rubber at the corners, set to do battle for 35 laps. It's time to wing it and bring it. Because where else would you rather be than right here, right now? It's showtime in Peevely. Flatline Racing Bodies, green flag for 35 laps at I-55. Patrick Spangler leads lap number 1. Brendan Lacey second, Isaac Salas, Blake Chapman battle for third. You saw Salas in the wall for a moment. Bandy wasting no time, easily taken away. That's Corina wasting no time, taking away the 4th spot. Now he wants Blake Chapman for P3. Here comes Spangler, though, looking for that lead on Brennan Lacey. Again, high sides the dominant place here, but Spangler making the bottom work. Lacey, though, able to hang on with that 12:22 last time by, picked up 2/10. Chapman now starting to attack the driver of the number 39 for the race for that 2nd spot. See if he can grab that off for turn 2. Not just yet. Got some other good battles on the track. Jack Hitt racing Rick Main for 7th position. Main's got company from his teammate Andy Patton in the number 87. Look at all this close racing all around I-55. Especially in the middle of the path. Randy Shreves, Jesse Bandy, that is for 10th. Brandon Dittmer, also a part of this too. I think we saw some smoke maybe in front, some wall smoke. Look out! Main and Head touch tires. Gentleman Jack Hitt on 2 wheels. And Hitt comes to a stop. Yellow lights are on for the first time tonight. Wild stuff broke out there on caution. Well, we had another car flip. That was Jesse Bandy, I believe. I'll show you that in just a moment. Bandy comes down. Ooh, in contact with Pat in the steering column broke. That put him on 2 wheels. And look at the wrecks just break out. Hit, Moonin, Craig. There's another car involved too. So ready for the restart here on lap number 9. Brennan Lacey selects the bottom here for this restart.
Green, green, green.
So we're back to green. Lacey slides up the hill to make sure he holds serve while Spengler and Chapman do battle for the second position. Corinna in 4th, Blake Christopherson in the 5th position. We work lap number 10. Here's a look at the 5-lap average on your screen. Who is the quickest car on track at the moment? Right now it's Brennan Lacey. Yellow lights back on. I believe it's for John Shore in the 51. And that looks to be the case here. Let's grab a replay and show you what happened to Shorty. All looks at, ooh, contact with the 11 and around he goes. Clevenger went all the way underneath that 51 car, right on board with Jack here if we can get him. Yep, watch this. Definitely a wild ride there. Final double file restart coming up here. We're going to watch this from the aerial shot. Lacey and Spengler, row 1. Chapman, Corinna, row 2. Christopherson and Main, row 3. Salas, Shreves, row 4. Patton and Dittmer round out the top 10. Biggest mover up 8 spots. Zach Chapman in 15th. We're back to green. .114 able to hold serve. Chapman and Spengler again race wing to wing for second. Off at turn 4, Spengler has it over the 20. And a great exit from Spengler looking for the race lead on Brennan Lacey. Did Brennan make a mistake going back downstairs? Yes, he did. Spengler, high, wide, and handsome to the point on lap number 14. 3 wide for second. Brennan's now down 2 spots. He could be in trouble here. Corinna with a slider up on Blake Chapman for the second spot. The salesman counters it back. We're back to yellow. Jack hit upside down, and the damage has gotten worse for him. Andy Patton also involved in the 87. I'll show you a replay of what happened to Gentleman Jack. Andy catches the wall off turn 4 first. Head ramps over him. Oh my gosh. Horrible accident. Right on board here with Andy. And that, man, it's a vicious crash. So this race is definitely taking a change. Brennan Lacey has now moved down to the 4th position. Chapman and Corinna have taken advantage of it all. We've put the lights back on, added an extra lap, I believe, to get drivers on the track. Single file restarts for the rest of this race. We've got 20 laps to go. So check that, 21 laps to go, coming to the green flag. Spengler, the control car, is we're green. Nice jump for the high side banger. Chapman remains in second. Lacey is swapped back up top, but can he get past Ross Carina is the question. Jeff Barker, Brian Moore Sr. side by side. That's the battle for 10th. Senior looks low. Can't get it to work. Barker hangs on. Brittany Shreve's trying to challenge Isaac Salas in a race for the 7th position. See if he can get that to work. Same with Brandon Dittmer on the outside. Got the wall there for just a split second, hangs on. Jordan drives the swap to top. Look at Ross Carina, slide job on Blake Chapman for second. The salesman able to cross over. Great move from the 20 up to P2. Carina with another crossover and slide job City in the battle for P2. We'll see what Lacey can do in this battle. Chapman up in the wall. Carina moves up to second. Lacey nearly made contact with the salesman, and Lacey barely with a brilliant pass up the box up the podium. Here comes Clay Christopherson as a part of this one. Chapman gets a little bit tight. Christopherson now wanting that spot for the 20. May actually try and go 2 for 1. It's a threesome in the battle for P3. Brandon Dittmer having issues in that 83. He's gone off the track. Usually keeps her going. Was slow on the back straight. We stay green. Back to the race for P3. And now we go to yellow. Bob D. Good, Kyle Moonen, Senior, Bandy, maybe more. Big Pack Racing. Oh, Morrissey. Oh my goodness. Moonen on 2 wheels for a second. And Moore Senior went barrel rolling. On board with Kyle Moonen. Oh my. That hit came out of nowhere. That has to leave Moonen fuming. Especially with a hit like that. Back to green, 11 laps of race to go at I-55. Spengler able to hold serve. Carina up in second. Looking to win here once again in Renegades action. Yellow, Brian Moore Sr. again. Oh no, there's actually more in the background. Wait, Landis, Barry Goldner, Patton, Cote involved. Couple of things we got to break down here. Watch more. And we had already just come back to the green. There was some contact with Moonen. Moonen then hits the good. Had some drivers get DQ'd from that, so more plays are safe than sorry to put her onto the pit lane. Then Landis got sideways off 4 catches as well and then just lost it on his own.
All right, man. Like it back on the pace car. We're not going green this time.
Under
We are
10
not
laps to
going
go.
green.
Let's get you a look at the 5-lap average. Best car on track right now for the last 5 laps. This could get interesting. Right now it's Ross Carina, who's a little bit faster, and same with Clay Christopherson. That could make things a little bit interesting when we have this next restart. So we're ready to go. 9 laps of racing to go. Spangler looking to win.
Green, green, green.
Corinna stays about a car length and a half to 2, right behind his tail tank. That 39 car able to hold serve for right now. 8 laps to go. Top 3, top 4 on the outside. First driver underneath is Blake Chapman in 5th. Oh, Lacey got up on the wall. Clay Christopherson hits the back of him. And now here we go with the battle for the bottom 7 of the podium. Lacey slides up the hill, hangs on to 3rd, kisses it once again. Corinna all over Spangler though for the race lead. Coming to 6 laps to go here at I-55. What do you watch? The battle for the win or the battle for 3rd? Side by side. Corinna looks underneath Spangler. Can't get it to work. Lacey stays put in that 3rd position, just trying to survive for dear life. Oh my goodness, Clay Christopherson with a massive flip. He got trapped in turn 1, hit the opening, and it's gone for many pirouettes. What a heartbreak ending to the 51 on what has been a great night so far until now. Just barely there caught Brennan Lacey and just started cartwheeling. Probably one of the worst accidents you'll see at I-55. Right on board with Putt-Putt. Just mind his own business. Yeah, just slight contact. Maybe he should have left it there. I don't know, though. Man, what a ride for Clay Christopherson. That is a flip that is like on the level of, and I'm just having fun with this, Steve Maurer in Knoxville.
Alright, man. I'd like you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
All right, so we're not going to go green this time. Got to get the pace truck back out as we get ready to go. All righty. Here we go with 4 to go.
Green flag, green flag.
Does Ross Corinna have anything for Spangler? That battle there on that last green flag rim was the closest the boss has been to Spangler all night, but Corinna caught the wall. Contact with Brennan Lacey. And contact again. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Brennan Lacey upside down. And back on all 4 wheels. That was just getting rough and rowdy there. They were playing bumper cars in turn 4. This was not the cause of the yellow. Yeah, I've actually been some net code there at the same time. Upside down went the 114. This was the cause of yellow with Zach Chapman. Ooh. Off of the 78, Patton also in it. So somehow after all of that, Brennan Lacey is able to retain his 3rd spot. But obviously wing damage on that car. If he hangs onto a podium, this will have been a successful night for him. As we come back to green, 3 laps to go. A yellow definitely that Corinna needed, but Lacey in the wall once again. His steering's in trouble and he's done. He hit 12X, he's out of the race. 2 laps to go. We had a wild finish last week, or 2 weeks ago at Lernerville. We had one in the Chili Bowl last week. Will we see it once again at I-55? Spangler has it at the white flag. Who leads in the checkers? Ross Carina looks underneath on the 39 for the race lead. Was at the 10's only good move. He is still right there with Spangler. Slide job by the boss. Crossover by Spangler. Oh, baby! I think it was Patrick Spangler. Our timing has it as Spangler by 4 thousandths. iRacing has Spangler by 300ths. Oh my goodness, what a finish. Ross went for the slide job and Patrick counted it back beautifully. Oh, baby. We got to watch that from the aerial shot. This is at the white flag. Corinna looks low, and you're thinking your Spangler's going to get a great run on corner exit, but no. Corinna had great bite off of corner exit. Corinna has to do what he needs to do with that slide job, but just so much speed on corner exit. And, you know, I think Corinna caught the wall before going across the start-finish line. That may have cost him the race, too, at the same time. I don't know. 2 starts to the year, 2 fantastic finishes. Oh, my goodness. As we look at your top 10, biggest mover, by the way, the man in 5th, Jeff Barker of 12 spots. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Great run from the Brewerton Beast. So you see the rest of the finishers here. Heartbreak of the night, probably Brennan Lacey and Clay Christopherson combined. All righty, to our 3rd place finisher we go. And let's bring him in. Rick Main in the 187. Rick, a wild race, but you kept that nose clean. Walk us through it from your perspective.
You're exactly right. I was just trying to keep her clean. I felt like an eternity at the beginning of the race. I was 3 wide, but sorted itself out. Just kept her clean and made her to the end.
Absolutely, you did. I mean, it's tough to keep that nose clean, especially at a tight track like I-55, where you know there's no open space on the outside or the inside, all covered up by walls.
Yeah, I mean it was tight. It was wing to wing, as many rows as you could see there for a long time. I mean, with it being kind of top dominant too there for a while, passing was a premium, track position was a premium. So just trying to keep it clean and out of everybody's way.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Well, I want to give shout out to Dylan Berg for spotting me there at the end. He let me know that the 3rd and 4th place car both had bent wings on that final restart. So I kind of laid back and, let them sort themselves out going into one, those ill handling race cars, and was able to come home with a podium and come from the rear. So him, all the guys at Inferno, JRB Designs, DNT, I forget, Mad Rabbit, Highline Cinematography. I'm forgetting some guys, but everybody that helps, we're doing great. So thanks.
Well, great job tonight, man. A great run for you.
Thanks, Marty.
Rick Main finishing in 3rd. Let's go to the man that finished 2nd. He had it done perfectly. Ross Carina. Brandon will let you take this one. A heartbreak for the driver of the 10.
Hey, Ross, this is Brian. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
You know, I spent a lot of time behind you and the Rebels enough to know that you can put your car about anywhere you want and make it be fast. You almost had Patrick there. What more did you need?
The finish line to be about 35 thousandths of a second earlier. Actually 36, I suppose, right? But
I love that answer.
Maybe, I don't know. I knew it was gonna. The track was actually, when I hit the kind of the middle bottom there on that last lap, it actually felt better than I thought. Maybe should have tried it earlier, I guess. But Hindsight 2020 is, it just seems like the fast lane was around the top, so I didn't want to get off that line and lose any spots. So just kind of knew I was going to have to pick my spot on Patrick, because or wait for him to make a mistake, and obviously everybody in this league knows that happens rarely. So I guess I picked my spot pretty well. I don't know if I could do it any better. It's just he crossed it under pretty well, and it worked good for him, I should say.
Those things happen, man. And I don't think you could have picked a much better spot to take a shot. Unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't work out quite the way you plan. But you're a great racer. You'll have plenty more chances the rest of the season. Who do you got to thank for this run?
Yeah, Phantom Motorsports guys, Velocity Race Design, Michael Sports or Power Outdoors, M9 Racing, Marty and you for putting on the show, and everybody at Coast to Coast behind the scenes making this thing work. And I'd also like to just kind of throw an extra shout out thanks to everybody that's made this memorial race for my cousin's kid go. It means a lot to the family, so just thanks for that.
Absolutely. Well, great job. And you gonna be around for tomorrow's and Wednesday's races?
I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna try to make it work, but it's looking like it's not going to work. But I'll try my darndest.
Oh, good. If you do end up making it, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
That's the boss, Ross Carina, finishing in second. Came oh so close. Let's talk with the man that had to hold off his challenge, though, Patrick Spangler. Holy moly, that was not easy. What a finish to that one. How's it feel to finally get that relief off your shoulders and get that win?
I didn't like all those cautions. I liked what I had the pretty good gap there in the start. But yeah, after that lap 26 restart, felt like my tires were gone, and it just wasn't sticking like it was before. So I knew Ross had a faster car than me. Felt like I was holding him up, and he got in the wall, I think, one time. But yeah, thank goodness I was able to hold on, and that start finish line was that far down the straightaway.
Do you think that had to do with, a lot of drivers using the high side throughout the race and, obviously everyone getting on the gas a lot earlier on the high side, using up tires too?
Probably. I mean, I was probably 3/4 throttle around the top the whole race, so I was burning my tires up. And usually that bottom, it comes in where Lacey and Goldner usually shine, but just wasn't there tonight. So it was all about track position. Shout out to Stephen Goldner Racing for not having a very good field man, and that pole in the heat race was huge.
Absolutely was. Next week, Knoxville, one of your key tracks as well. What do you expect going in?
Hopefully he can keep it clean and drive to the front. I know Blake's usually pretty good there and a handful of others, but running to a bit of a hot streak right now. It's probably my biggest iRacing win on Friday, and then tonight got one, so hopefully to carry it on next week.
Are we going to see it tomorrow night or Wednesday?
Probably. What's tomorrow night? I know
the big block 200 race.
Yeah, 200 lap at Oswego.
Oswego. Yeah, probably see me.
Alrighty, who you want?
Those are always fun races.
Absolutely.
Just you for everything you do for around the league and broadcasting. Brandon for hopping up there tonight. Even though he didn't hang out in our Discord down there. See how it is, Brandon. Triangles Racing, D&T Designs for the wrap tonight, and Dad and Uncle back home watching.
Alrighty, man. Well, hey, great job tonight. Congratulations on the win. Another exciting finish to close things out.
Thank you. Hopefully talk to you next week or maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Absolutely. Patrick Spangler gets the job done here at I-55. What a finish to this one, Brandon. We'll put the cameras back on. Final thoughts.
I-55 usually produces some very good racing, and we saw it again tonight. Unfortunately, it was really slicked off, but they managed to make it work and make it an absolutely exciting finish.
Absolutely did. What a great race. Looking forward to the next 2 nights of the Dayton Corona Memorial. I will talk to you all tomorrow night for the 200-lap big block race at Oswego Speedway. We are looking forward to cheering on the Dayton Corona Memorial. So that'll do it for us here. Thanks for joining us on this Monday night. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig and his great group of admins. He's Brandon Dittmer. I'm Marty Sakala. Congratulations to your race winners this evening. Scott Rayom in the Open 358. Rebels was Clay Christopherson, and the Renegades, Patrick Spangler. So long, everyone.